Freeze warning issued for Tallahassee, what it means and how to prepare. When people think about Florida, freezing temperatures are usually not the first thing that comes to mind. Florida is known for warm winters, mild nights, and weather that rarely drops below comfortable levels. That's especially true for people who live farther south in the state. But in Tallahassee, winter can sometimes tell a different story. This week, a freeze warning has been issued for Tallahassee, and that warning carries more weight than many people realize. Freezing temperatures don't just feel cold. They can damage homes. They can kill plants. They can put pets and vulnerable people at risk. And in areas that aren't built for freezing weather, the impact can be sudden and expensive. So what does a freeze warning actually mean? Why is Tallahassee particularly vulnerable when temperatures drop? And what should residents do before the cold arrives? Today on InfoTrend, we're breaking down the freeze warning issued for Tallahassee, what's causing it, why it matters, and how you can prepare to protect your home, your family, and your community. A freeze warning is issued when temperatures are expected to fall to 32 degrees Fahrenheit or lower for a sustained period of time. This is not the same as a chilly evening or a cool morning. A freeze warning signals that temperatures are cold, enough to cause real-world damage. When water freezes, it expands. When plants freeze, they can die. When people or animals are exposed to cold without protection, it can become dangerous very quickly. In colder states, these conditions are routine. Homes are insulated, pipes are protected, and people are used to preparing for freezing weather. But in North Florida, freezes are less common, and that makes them more disruptive when they happen. Tallahassee sits in North Florida, which places it closer to cold air masses that move south during the winter months. While freezes are not unheard of, they are often infrequent, short-lived, unexpected. Many homes in Tallahassee were built with warm weather in mind. Plumbing may be exposed. Insulation may be minimal. Outdoor faucets and irrigation systems may not be designed to handle freezing temperatures. The same is true for landscaping. Many plants common in the region are tropical or subtropical and are highly sensitive to cold. When a freeze warning is issued, the problem isn't just the temperature. It's the lack of built-in protection. Freeze warnings in Tallahassee are usually caused by a combination of atmospheric conditions working together. Cold air from the north moves southward, often behind strong weather systems. These air masses can drop temperatures rapidly, sometimes by dozens of degrees in a single day. Clear skies at night make things worse. Without cloud cover, heat escapes from the ground into the atmosphere, allowing temperatures to fall quickly after sunset. This process is known as radiational cooling. Calm winds also play a role. When winds are light, cold air settles near the ground instead of mixing with warmer air above it. This creates ideal conditions for freezing temperatures overnight. When these factors align, temperatures can fall below freezing for several hours, long enough to cause damage. The most dangerous time during a freeze event is usually late at night and early in the morning. Temperatures often reach their lowest point just before sunrise. That's when pipes are most likely to freeze, plants are most vulnerable, and pets left outside are at the greatest risk. Because this happens while most people are asleep, damage can occur before anyone realizes there's a problem. That's why preparation needs to happen before nightfall. Waiting until the temperature drops is often too late. One of the most serious risks during a freeze is plumbing damage. Water expands when it freezes. If water inside a pipe freezes, it puts pressure on the pipe walls. This pressure can cause cracks or bursts, especially in older or exposed plumbing. Outdoor faucets, pipes in crawl spaces, garages, and uninsulated walls are especially vulnerable. The damage often doesn't become obvious until temperatures rise, and the ice melts. At that point, water begins to leak, sometimes flooding walls, floors, or ceilings. What starts as a cold night can quickly turn into an expensive repair. Protecting your home during a freeze warning doesn't require professional equipment or major renovations. Simple steps can make a big difference. Exposed pipes should be wrapped with insulation, towels, or pipe covers. Outdoor hoses should be disconnected, and outdoor faucets should be covered or wrapped. Inside the home, opening cabinet doors under sinks allows warm air to circulate around plumbing. Letting faucets drip slightly overnight helps keep water moving, which reduces the chance of freezing. These small actions take only a few minutes, but they can prevent thousands of dollars in damage. Freeze warnings are also especially concerning for plants and landscaping. Many plants common in Tallahassee are not built to survive freezing temperatures. Tropical plants, citrus trees, and delicate landscaping can suffer permanent damage or die after just one freeze. Covering plants with cloth, sheets, or blankets can help trap heat. Plastic coverings should be avoided unless there's fabric underneath, as plastic alone can trap moisture and worsen damage. Watering soil before a freeze can help retain heat, and potted plants should be brought indoors whenever possible. For gardeners and homeowners, a single cold night can undo months or even years of care. Beyond individual homes, freeze warnings can have a broader economic impact. North Florida has a strong agricultural presence. Crops, nurseries, and livestock operations can all be affected by freezing temperatures. Farmers often take emergency measures during freeze warnings, such as covering crops, irrigating fields to protect plants, or harvesting early to reduce losses. Despite these efforts, freeze damage can still reduce yields, disrupt supply chains, and contribute to higher prices. What looks like a simple weather event can ripple through the local economy. Pets and animals are another critical concern during freeze warnings. Even animals that are used to being outdoors can suffer from hypothermia or frostbite when temperatures drop unexpectedly. Pets should be brought indoors overnight whenever possible. If animals must remain outside, they should have warm bedding, insulated shelter, and protection from wind. If it feels too cold for you to stay outside comfortably, it's too cold for pets. Freezing temperatures pose the greatest risk to certain groups of people: elderly individuals, people without reliable heating, those living in poorly insulated housing, and people experiencing homelessness are especially vulnerable. Cold exposure can become dangerous quickly, even when temperatures are only slightly below freezing. Community awareness matters. Checking on neighbors, friends, and family during freeze events can save lives. Freeze warnings in places like Tallahassee are also drawing attention to a larger trend. Weather patterns are becoming more variable and less predictable. Regions that were once considered safe from certain extremes are now experiencing conditions they weren't designed for. Warm weather cities are facing cold extremes. Cold regions are seeing unusual warmth. Infrastructure, planning, and public awareness are being tested. Freeze warnings are no longer rare surprises. They're becoming events that require active preparation. If you're in Tallahassee or the surrounding area, the most important steps are simple. Stay informed by monitoring local weather updates. Prepare your home before sunset. Protect plants and pets. Check on people who may need help. Preparation isn't about panic. It's about prevention. But here's the bigger question. If freeze warnings are becoming more common in traditionally warm places like Tallahassee, are cities built for heat ready to handle cold extremes? And how many other regions could face similar surprises as weather patterns continue to shift? That's a trend worth watching. If this video helped you understand the freeze warning in Tallahassee, like the video. It helps more people stay informed. And if you want clear, calm explanations of weather events and real-world trends, subscribe to InfoTrend, because understanding the trend is the first step to staying prepared.